Very good morning, students. So in the previous classes, we were learning what is dilution. What is dilution of an acid or a base? Can anybody answer me what is by diluting of an acid or a base? So those who attended my last class, what is meant by diluting of an acid or a base? So diluting of an acid or a base is the process of adding acid or base to a water. So what happens when you add acid or base to a water? You know the procedure how to add the acid to water. You have to add it drop by drop and with constant stirring. With constant stirring. You should not add water to the acid. If you add water to the acid, what happens? So the heat generated may cause the mixture to splash. It may even cause burns. It may even break the beaker. So always it is advised to add acid to water drop by drop with constant stirring. What happens if you add acid to water? The concentration of the hydrogen ions or the concentration of hydroxyl ions per unit volume decreases. The concentration of hydrogen or hydroxyl ions, that is OH minus ions per unit volume decreases. Yes. Now, students, today's class, let us learn how strong or acid or base. See, after learning about the diluting of an acid or base, so we know that the concentration of hydrogen ion or hydroxyl ion per unit volume decreases. If the concentration decreases, then the strongness of acid or base also decreases, because the strongness of an acid or a base depends upon the number of hydrogen ion or hydroxyl ion present per unit volume. So we need to quantitatively determine how strong the acid is, how strong the base is. So this is based on the number of hydrogen ion or hydroxyl ions present. So for this reason, we have developed a universal indicator. What is that universal indicator, if anybody knows? Universal indicator. Which one is called as universal indicator? Which one is known as universal indicator? It is the pH paper. The pH paper is the universal indicator. pH paper. So this pH paper shows different colors. It shows different colors for different concentrations of ions. This pH paper shows different colors for different concentration of ions per unit volume, that is hydrogen or hydroxyl ions. So the word P represents potence. It is taken from German. The word P represents potence, which is taken from the German. It is a German word. The meaning of it is power. The meaning of it is power. And H represents hydrogen. So pH paper. pH paper we can simply tell it as it is the power of hydrogen. So the pH paper is numbered between 0 to 40. So it is a scale which is numbered between, so pH is a scale. Okay. So it is numbered between 0 to 40. So it is numbered between 0 to 40. So in between, so which is the middlemost number? 7.
Neutral.
So 7 represent neutral. Less than 7. pH value. See, pH scale is numbered between 0 to 40. So the middle value is 7 here. 7 represents the neutral solution. And less than 7 indicates acidic solution. Acidic solution. More than 7 indicates basic solution. If the pH value is 5, now you answer me. What type of solution is
Weak acid.
Who told you this?
Strong acid. Sir, weak. Sir, strong acid. Strong acid.
So it is acid, okay? So it is acid and it is strong, okay? So if the pH value is less than 7, then the solution is acidic in nature. See, strong or weakness depends on the number of hydrogen ion concentration. So when you compare with pH value 6, when you compare with the pH value 6, the pH value 5 is more stronger acid than compared to 6. Okay. So 5 is usually a strong acid itself. Less than 5 is even more stronger. Did you understand? Yes. So, but the pH paper, it shows different colors. It will be not numbered. But for every number, so we can identify the number by the change in the colors. We can identify the numbers by change in colors. So different value will have different colors. So with knowing the colors, we can know the pH value. Whether it is less than 5 or whether it is less than 6, whether it is less than 4. So we can determine by knowing the colors. And if it is more than 7, then it is a basic solution. It is a basic solution. So if it is 8, and if it is 10, which is more basic here? 10. So here, when compared to 8 and 10, the solution 10, or the pH value with the pH value of a solution 10 gives, or it is having more basic solution, more basic nature. Okay. So what happens as you move from 7 to 14 to the hydrogen ion concentration? What happens if the pH value increases from 7 to 14 to the hydroxyl ion concentration? Does it increases or does it decreases? See, which is more basic, 8 or 10? 8. 10 is more basic in nature. More basic indicates that it is having more number of hydroxyl ions. More number of hydroxyl ions. So as you move from 7 to 14, that is, there will be increase in the number of hydroxyl ion concentration. There will be increase in the number of hydroxyl ion concentration. Is it understood? Okay. But what happens when you go from 7 to 0? So again there will be increase in hydrogen ion concentration. Increase in hydrogen ion concentration. As you move from 7 to 0, so hydrogen ion concentration also increases. See, there are so many acids. Hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sulfuric acid, other than some edible acids like tartaric acid, lactic acid. So those are all edible acids. But their pH value is different. They are all acid. They are all acid. We can just determine their nature by using the litmus paper. But to determine it quantitatively, that is, which is a stronger acid, which is a weaker acid, which is a stronger acid or which is a weaker acid. So that can be known by the pH paper. By using the pH paper, we can quantitatively determine how strong the acid or a base is. Did you understood?
Yes, sir.
Is it understood?
Yes,
Yes. Now, after learning about the pH, this pH is very much essential for our daily life. So, uses of pH in our daily life. How pH value is useful in our daily life. Uses of pH in everyday life. First, animals. See, even the human beings are included under the category of animals. Our body works within a narrow change in the pH value. That is 7 to 7.8, 7.6. It's just a narrow change. A small change is accepted by our body. But if there is a lot of difference in the pH value, then we cannot survive. Okay, a narrow change in the pH value. So that is from 7 to 7.6, we can survive. Okay, so this is neutral in nature. Okay, so have you heard about acid rain? Have you heard about acid rain?
Yes, sir.
So what is meant by acid rain?
Sir, when more pollution in the water rather than acid.
When more pollution?
Yes.
See, your answer is when the pollution increases. When the pollution increases, we get acid rain. That is your answer. But so you have to say which gas is responsible.
Nitrogen gas.
Nitrogen gas. So it is the oxides of nitrogen, not nitrogen. It is oxide of nitrogen and oxide of sulfur. That is, oxide of nitrogen means it may be nitric oxide or nitrogen dioxide, whatever may be. So the oxides of nitrogen and oxides of sulfur is responsible for the loss of acid. So what happens when the acid rain joins the river bodies or the water bodies or the aquatic animals? There will be change in the pH of water. When the pH of water changes, aquatic animals cannot survive. If it falls on the soil, see, the rain falls each and every place. If it falls on the water, the aquatic animals cannot survive. If it falls on the soil, then the plants cannot survive. Plant may also die. Okay. So the pH is very much important for all the organisms. We can survive only in the narrow change of pH. Narrow change of pH. So now, soil. So just now I told, if the acid rain falls, then the nature of the soil changes. Then the plant do not grow well, or the crops do not grow well. Now, most of you are from agricultural background. So what the farmers are using today are the chemical fertilizers, so which is more acidic in nature. So by adding the fertilizers, so it changes the pH value of the soil. So after harvesting, if you want to grow new crop, before growing new crop, you must check the pH value of the soil. So there are so many soil testing centers and there are so many helplines. So take a small amount of water, dissolve in water, then separate the filtrate. So just you take the solution of the soil and go to the lab and check it. So check it whether the soil is acidic in nature or whether this soil is suitable to grow what kind of crop. So then it can be determined. So on testing, if the acidic nature of the soil is more, then the farmer has to add some basic salt to it. On adding basic salt, what happens? The soil becomes neutral. So then you can cultivate the crops. Okay. So if the soil is acidic in nature, so you can know it by testing. So there also we come to know the importance of the pH in our event. Okay. So next, during indigestion, you learned that in the previous chapter, our stomach produces a acid. Which is that acid? HCl is hydrochloric acid. Though acid is secreted in our stomach, does it cause any harm to our stomach?
No, sir.
Does it cause any harm to our stomach? Do you know that acids are corrosive in nature? Even though it is secreted in the stomach, it do not harm our stomach. Why it doesn't harm our stomach?
Mucus is protected.
Because mucus is present in the
Outer lines of these.
The wall of the stomach is protected by the mucus gland. But what happens when you consume different type of food or more amount of food? Much amount of acid is secreted. When more amount of acid is secreted, it causes irritation and pain. But how do you overcome from the relief? How do you overcome from that pain to get relief from it? So that is, when you take too much of food, when you eat different kinds of spicy food, automatically the acid also secreted in more quantity. So which causes pain and irritation. So how do you get relief? By taking some antacids. By taking some antacids. So by taking antacids. See, so whatever you are answering, is an antacid. So that is basic in nature. It is basic. It is nothing but base. It is a base. So when acidic content is increased, by taking base, we can get relief from it. We can get relief from it. Is it understood?
Yes, sir.
So, milk of magnesia. Milk of magnesia. Milk of magnesia is one such antacid. Milk of magnesia is one such antacid. The chemical name of milk of magnesia is magnesium. The chemical name of milk of magnesia is magnesium hydroxide. It is nothing but magnesium hydroxide. The common name of magnesium hydroxide is milk of magnesia. So you can say so which we people are using when the acidity increases in our body. So it is written fast relief from acidity. Fast relief from acidity. And it is given fruit salt. Do you know the nature of salt? Salt is neutral in nature. And it is fruit salt. Fruit salt is edible. We can take it. We can eat. We can consume. Which do not affect us. Okay. So by taking some certain salts or taking some base like magnesium or magnesium hydroxide, which is commonly called as milk of magnesia, we can get relief from the indigestion. We can get relief from the indigestion, or we can get relief from the acidity. Is it understood? So remember this, what is given in your textbook. Milk of magnesia. That is the common name for magnesium
hydroxide.
Next, tooth decay. Tooth decay. See, we all brush our teeth. We all brush our teeth using toothpaste and toothpaste. See, whatever may be the different kinds of paste that is sold in the markets. What is the nature of that toothpaste? Do you know?
Base.
So it is nothing but a base. See, we eat different varieties of food. The acids that is present in the food may deposit on the teeth. The acids present in the food get deposited on the teeth, and there are so many bacteria that will be present in the mouth. It acts on the food which is present on the teeth, and it makes our tooth decay. It makes our tooth decay. So we need to brush our teeth every day. Twice. It is advised to brush your teeth twice. Okay. So by using a base paste, the paste that we use of different company that is sold in the market is of basic in nature. It is of basic in nature. So which prevents our teeth from getting decay. So the teeth enamel is the hardest substance that is present in our body. Teeth is the hardest substances. Even the teeth gets decay if it is not taken. Okay. Bone is strong. This teeth is stronger. So even you cut the bone and it is Sunday. Most of you bite the bone. Isn't it? Which is stronger? Teeth is stronger. With the help of teeth, we even break the bone. Isn't it? Tooth. Okay. See, this tooth enamel is made up of a hardest substance called as calcium hydroxyapatite. Calcium hydroxyapatite. So it is the hardest substance. Bone is harder. It is hardest. Teeth is hardest. Okay. Yes. Now,
Sir, what is that hardest part? Is called calcium hydroxide.
calcium hydroxyapatite. Calcium hydroxyapatite. Okay, that is the hardest substances which tooth enamel is made up of. Tooth enamel is made up of. So now, how do you get relief? So even some of the animals or insects use this pH value as self-defense. Here some of the animals use this pH value for self-defense. Some of the animals or insects use it. So what happens when the bee sting bites or when the ant bites? So what happens when the sting bites? Bee sting bites. Bee. So where it bites, you can see after some time you start itching. The surrounding region becomes reddish and even it swells up. Where the bee sting bites, it leaves an acid. So it causes irritation and pain. How do you get relief from it? How do you get relief from it? So what do you do if the bee sting bites? So it is an acid. To neutralize the acid, what you have to add? You have to add a base. You can add a base. Okay, so whatever the base you have, so you can apply on the skin and you can get relief. So here, the bee sting. Bee leaves a acid called as methanoic acid or a formic acid.
How does it produce it?
So the body has the capacity. How our body is capable of producing hydrochloric acid. Thus, the animals, insects, and different types of lizards, so they also produce different kinds of acids. And some animals use for defense mechanism. Some animals use for defense mechanism. So, B uses methanoic acid. So, which is also called as formic acid. So, by applying the base on the region where it is bite, where it is bitten, so you can get relief from it. And even some plants also use this acid for plants also use. So there is a plant called nettle sting. Nettle leaf plant. Nettle leaf plant. So nettle leaf plant. The nettle leaves of the plant. See, if you watch some old movies of Kannada, so there also this nettle leaf is used. Nowadays we are nowadays movies it is not shown, but in the olden days movies it is shown. So even the mightiest person, the one who come to attack the thinner person, so the thinner person will stand like this and he keep a small amount of leaf in his hand. When the mighty person comes to attack, so the person will rub the nettle sting on the body. Immediately the mighty person cannot fight. It causes, the whole body causes itching. So this is used as a comedy in the movie. But you must know the nettle sting, it is a plant. The nettle leaf. So it also contains methanoic acid where the plant uses it for defense mechanism. Okay. So these are all the different uses of pH or the importance of pH in our intelligence. So why we must know about pH? Why it is important to know the pH means? So these are all the uses where each and everybody have the use of pH value. Okay, so even for animals, soil, for farming, indigestion, tooth decay, for animals, plants, so almost all. So these are all the importance of pH in our everyday life. So now, so we studied acid and bases. So the next topic will come, let us come to study about the salt. How salt is formed? You studied the neutralization reaction.
Acid reacts with base to form salt and water.
Salt is formed by the neutralization reaction. Salt is formed by the neutralization reaction.
Sir, when metal carbonate also, metal carbonate is
Carbonate itself is.
Sir, when metal reacts with the acid,
Metal react with acid, what it gives?
salt and
hydrogen. Salt and hydrogen. See, neutralization reaction you say, acid and base reacts to give salt and water. Even you have studied the reaction of metal with acid. Also a salt and hydrogen gas is used. Okay, acid with metal carbonate, metal hydrogen carbonate also forms a salt, water and carbon dioxide. So here a salt and see, in all these different cases we learned that salt is formed. in all the, not only in neutralization reaction, the reaction between an acid and a metal also produces a salt. The reaction between acid and a metal carbonate, metal hydrogen carbonate also produces the salt. We studied that. But the salt must be neutral in nature. The salt must be neutral in nature. If we use some strong acid, you come to know what is a strong acid. The one which is having more number of hydrogen ion concentration is called a stronger acid. If what happens when a strong acid reacts with a weak base? Weak base. What happens when a strong acid reacts with a weak base? Look at the book. When strong acid reacts with a weak base, salt and water is formed. But what is the nature of this salt? Here, the one which is stronger, the acid is stronger. So here, the salt what we get is of acidic nature salt. We get acidic salt. That is, the salt will have some acidic quality. If a weak acid and a strong base reacts. So again salt and water is formed. Again salt and water is formed. When a weak acid and a strong base reacts, also a salt and water is formed.
Basic in it.
So here which is stronger?
Base.
The base is stronger here. So the salt will take that basic nature. So we get a salt of basic nature. And if both are equally strong, if the acid and bases are equally strong, then we get a neutral salt. And students, how you know how salt is produced from the seawater? Seawater is having so many dissolved salts in it. Seawater is having so many dissolved salt in it. So from the seawater, the salt is produced. And students, there are stories that even the seas dry up. Samudra kuda battogadu. Samudranu battogute. So you must remember. Okay, there are times, so there are stories where the seas also get dried up. So when the seas get dried up, it leaves behind a rock salt. So where even from the rock the salt are extracted. From the sea water salt is produced, and even from the rocks salt is also extracted. So mainly commonly we have a salt. So what is the name of common salt? Chemicals from common salt. Chemicals from common salt. So what is the chemical name for common salt? What is the chemical name for common salt? NaCl. What is NaCl?
Common salt. Sodium.
Sodium chloride. NaCl is sodium chloride. The common name of sodium chloride is common salt. Is it understood? Yes. Now, this sodium chloride is produced or it is prepared from the salt water. And this sodium chloride is the raw material for so many chemicals. We can extract so many chemicals out of this sodium chloride. So now let us learn what are the different types of chemicals that can be extracted from the common salt. So one is bleaching powder. So bleaching powder, baking soda, washing soda, baking soda, yes. So even baking soda is also an antacid. And still, this common salt is one. And what we are using it for, we are mainly using this common salt for cooking. So we cannot separate the salt and cooking. Okay. So we use. So it is the main ingredient for cooking. But this is also the raw material for the preparation of so many other chemicals. So first, let us learn a reaction called as chlor-alkali process. What is chlor-alkali process? If anybody know, you can answer. Chlor-alkali process. When electricity is passed through the aqueous solution of sodium chloride. When electricity is passed through the aqueous solution of sodium chloride, sodium hydroxide, chlorine and hydrogen are produced. When very important, and it was asked so many times in the public examination. What is meant by chlor-alkali process? And these questions is not present in your in-text questions or exercise questions. Okay. So, but this is very important. When electricity is passed through the aqueous solution of sodium chloride, so which is also called as brine. The aqueous solution of sodium chloride is called brine. So it forms sodium hydroxide, chlorine and hydrogen. So why the name chlor-alkali? So because the products formed are a base. Sodium hydroxide is a base. Chlorine. What is the base that dissolves in water called? The bases that dissolve in water are called as what? The bases that dissolve in water are called as alkalis. They are called as alkali. So here, this is the alkali and this is the chlorine. That is the product that is formed during the process. So the name called as chlor-alkali process. What is chlor-alkali process? When electricity is passed through the aqueous solution of sodium chloride, product formed are sodium hydroxide, chlorine and hydrogen. Here sodium hydroxide is the alkali along with chlorine that is formed. So the process itself called as chlor-alkali process. So let us write the equation for it. When aqueous solution, aqueous means water, with water. So when you pass electricity, so the product formed is sodium hydroxide, hydrogen and chlorine. So chlorine is the gas. Chlorine is a green color gas. Okay. Chlorine is a light green color gas. So it is taken. So this is taken in the electrolytic tank. So electrodes are dipped into the solution. So one is anode. So the positive charged electrode are anode, negative charged electrode are cathode. Okay. See here, chlorine is formed at the anode. The chlorine is formed at the anode end. Okay. Whereas hydrogen is formed at the cathode end, and sodium hydroxide is also formed at the cathode end. So during this process, whatever the products formed, so along with sodium hydroxide is also useful. Hydrogen and chlorine. See, first of all, sodium hydroxide, which is formed at the cathode, is used for making soaps. It is used for making soaps, for making papers. Sodium hydroxide is used in the manufacturing of soap and paper. Hydrogen, you know that it is used as a fuel. And it is used for making fertilizers, that is ammonia, NH3, ammonia. And even this hydrogen can be used as margarine. Margarine is an alternate for butter. So these are all the uses of the byproducts. So that is formed along with the sodium hydroxide. See, sodium hydroxide is the chemical that we use it for preparing soaps and paper. Okay, so And the chlorine gas. Chlorine is used in the manufacturing of PVC, CFC, and even to treat swimming pool.
Bleaching powder.
Not bleaching powder. So bleaching powder is also used, is also prepared by using chlorine. You will learn that. See the uses of the byproducts. Sodium hydroxide is used in the manufacturing of soap and paper. Chlorine. Chlorine is used in the PVC. What is meant by PVC?
Pipe.
PVC pipe. What is the full form of that PVC? PVC ಅಂದ್ರೆ PVC full form. Does it have any meaning? PVC. It is polyvinyl chloride. PVC it is polyvinyl chloride. CFC. What is CFC? CFC we use it in refrigerators. We were using it in the refrigerators. CFC. Chlorofluorocarbon. Please take down. PVC. Take down. Polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride. CFC. CFC. Chlorofluorocarbon. Chlorofluorocarbon. Not only that, you will be asked, name the chemical used to treat the swimming pool. What is your answer? Name the chemical used to treat the swimming pools. Huh? How many of you played in swimming pool? You know the color?
Yes, sir.
Put down your hands. Yes, put down your hands, boys. Do you know the chemical used to purify or treat the swimming pool? It is nothing but chlorine, not bleaching powder. They add chlorine. Dry chlorine they add. Okay. So to treat the swimming pool. So it also kills the germs. Right. And hydrogen, it is a highly combustible fuel which is used as fuel and it is also used as ammonia. So it is used as fertilizer. Ammonia is used as fertilizer and margarine is one of the alternate for butter. Okay, so it is prepared artificial margarine product like butter. Okay, so these are the uses of the byproducts that is formed along with the sodium hydroxide. So now let us learn the preparation of the other chemical, that is bleaching powder. Bleaching powder. So first let us learn the preparation of bleaching powder. Bleaching powder. Anybody know the chemical name of bleaching powder? What is the chemical name of bleaching powder? What is the chemical name of bleaching powder? What is the chemical name of bleaching powder? Chemical name of bleaching powder, zinc and it is calcium oxychloride. Students, you will be asked for 1 mark. Write the chemical name of bleaching powder. 1 mark question. It is calcium oxychloride. Calcium oxychloride. That is CaOCl2. CaOCl2 is the molecular formula for calcium oxychloride. Ca calcium, O oxygen, chloride Cl2. CaOCl2. How? First let us learn how bleaching powder is prepared. Then let us look into the uses of bleaching powder. If anybody knows, you can answer me. See, already how chlorine is formed by the chloralkali process, just now you have learned. By passing electricity to the aqueous solution of sodium chloride, sodium hydroxide chlorine is formed. When you pass the chlorine gas, through the dry slated line. That is, dry slated line is nothing but calcium hydroxide. Okay, so when chlorine gas is passed to it, so calcium oxychloride is formed. Calcium oxychloride is formed. When chlorine gas, see, today we are studying about the chemicals that are prepared out of sodium chloride. Sodium hydroxide, we learned, it is one of the chemicals that is prepared out of sodium chloride. And bleaching powder is also prepared from sodium chloride. So that is, during the preparation of sodium hydroxide, we get chlorine as one of the byproducts. So from that chlorine, we can prepare the bleaching powder. How chlorine is formed? By using salt, by using sodium chloride. That is, by passing electricity to the aqueous solution of sodium chloride, sodium hydroxide, chlorine and hydrogen is formed. From that, there we come to know sodium chloride is one of the raw material. Okay, so without sodium chloride, chlorine gas would have not produced. So by using the chlorine gas, on passing this chlorine gas to the dry slacked line, so this is the common name, dry slacked line. Dry slacked line. So dry slacked line means nothing but calcium hydroxide. So calcium oxychloride, which is nothing but bleaching powder. Which is nothing but bleaching powder. So this is how bleaching, say you will be asked how bleaching powder is prepared. By passing chlorine gas to dry slacked line. And you have to write the equation. Now tell me the uses of bleaching powder. What are the uses of bleaching powder? Uses of bleaching powder. See, bleaching powder is used to bleach cotton and textile. So it is used to bleach cloths. So it is used to bleach cotton and linen. Cotton or linen in textile industries. So bleaching means removal of color. See, we wear different types of clothes. We wear different types of colored clothes. So before that, So it is come out from the cotton. You know that it is come out from the cotton. The cloth is come out from the cotton. So that has to be bleached and then it is coated with the colors. It is given color. Okay. Yes. So for bleaching cotton and linen in the textile industry, bleaching powder is used. And also this bleaching powder is used as oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent for so many industries. Oxidizing agent for so many industries. Industries use this bleaching powder as oxidizing agent. And also this is used, this bleaching powder is used to kill the germs. It is used to kill the germs in drinking water. It is used to kill germs in drinking.
Sir, don't it harm the...
What?
Sir, it won't harm any animal.
What?
Sir, it won't harm any living being.
No, it is not much harmful. But too much concentration may cause. Okay? See, whatever the water that we get from the tap, from the municipality, they add bleaching powder to kill the germs. Okay? Sometimes we may get during the rainy season. So you know, you get the color of water, it is muddy. But when bleaching powder is added, so they at that time, more amount of bleaching powder is added sometimes. So when the water is released from the tap, you know, you get a white color. So that is nothing but bleaching powder they added. So that is added to kill the germs. So these are the uses of bleaching powder. See, definitely one uses out of this salt will be asked. Okay. So I will continue in my next class. Okay. ಪಿಂಕ್
ನೀನು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಓಕೆ ಮಾಡು